Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Coast to Coast Entertainment Network on Deck. I'm the host, Big B. I'm joined by today. He's going by Chris. So, Chris, how you doing today, bud?
I'm good. How's everybody doing today?
Doing okay. And then we are joined by a special guest. You've seen him on a few of our shows. He's a resident California or Anaheim Angels fan, I guess you can call him. James, how you doing, James? Sorry for the technical difficulties there. James still setting up, has little mic issues. So, well, hello, Chrissy. How are you doing? So, all right. Well, we'll get back with James here shortly. So, Chris, I've been gone the last couple weeks. So, what have you and Dirk been talking about?
We went through the trade deadline. We went through what our teams did, the Rangers and the Mets, and how they those trades affected the baseball standings.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to. I was gone. Family stuff going on. So for me, the Twins made some moves that wasn't shocking. I wasn't surprised about them. I think the biggest one was a couple pitchers, Happ, and a reliever that we got rid of. But outside of that, I figured Cruz is going to leave. I figured Barrios was going to leave. I actually saw one of Barrios' starts for Toronto, and the guy is still phenomenal. So yeah, the Twins are rebuilding. Not really helping their cause. They did win 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3 in Houston this past week, but they are now getting throttled by Chicago, which overall they should be. Chicago's way more superior than the Twins have been this year, so it is what it is. So
how do you think the trades worked out for your Twins?
Right now, I think a lot of it's going to depend on Cruz, because Cruz said he wants to come back at the end of the year because he's a free agent. So if we get him back, then we definitely won the Tampa Bay trade. We got some good prospects. I think we ended up getting like 3 or 4 guys in the top 10 prospects. So if they develop, I mean, it's going to help out, but we're not going to know anything until, a couple years down the road, unless things start clicking next year, like they were supposed to this year. But the team that I see the Twins having right now, I like them. They're young. I just got disappointed that they didn't live up to expectations like they were this year. So, but
yeah, it's going to take time. It's weird how the players you drafted, they don't really show up until like a year or 2, maybe 5 years down the road.
Yeah, with the draft and trades and stuff. The big question mark is going to be Buxton next year going into the season if the guy can stay healthy. Because, I mean, you look at it, the stats. I mean, when he's in the lineup, the team wins like 70% of the time. So it's just keeping him healthy. I know this last one. Matter of fact, I think his last 2 injuries weren't like in the outfield related. I think it was running bases and getting hit in the hand. But he was actually on MVP pace in my eyes, and I'm not trying to be a homer on that take, but I really thought he was on MVP pace. So your Rangers, they only made really one move, and that was Gallows to the Yankees, right? Or did I miss a move there?
I think we traded like 12 players, but we got 6 players.
But you didn't trade. Did you guys trade Gibson, or did I miss that?
Yeah, I believe we did.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to keep up with it, and at the trade deadline, just like free agency, when all that starts up for basketball and football and stuff, it just goes so crazy. So I see we're trying to get James back in there. James, can you hear us? Wave to us. Well, James is still trying to set up in lovely California there. Oh, James, you with us?
Nope.
Okay, he's still trying to get on, guys. So be patient. So anyway, so why don't we pull up the standings if you got them, or I can pull them up on my phone. So as we're doing that, I'll read off some scores here. Like I said, the Twins pulled ahead of the White Sox right now in the top of the seventh, 2 outs, 4-3 Twins. I got the Astros over the Rockies 4-0, bottom of 5. Tigers over the Orioles 6-1. We got a tie ball game in Philly with the Dodgers and Phillies tied at 0. Another tie game over in Cleveland. The A's are tied with the Indians 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Another tie game. The Rays and Boston are tied at 4, bottom of 8. That might go into some extra innings there. All right, so you got the standings. So why don't we just start at the top there in the American League East? So you got Tampa Bay, Boston, New York, Toronto, and of course Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Tampa's leading that by 4, which I personally kind of think is kind of shocking because the Rays after last year they traded away their best pitcher, and everybody thought it was going to be a different story. I actually thought Toronto was going to be up there. I mean, they're only 7.5 back, so there's still a shot. But what do you think? What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, it's a slim shot. I mean, there's still a lot of baseball to go, and anything can happen from, now to then. So,
yep,
I could see Toronto catching up.
Yeah, I hope so. I really like it, but the dreaded Yankees seem to be on the, kind of score some runs here and there. So we'll see. And of course, Boston's Boston right now. So in the Central, Boston being Boston. So in the Central, I think this division is probably all wrapped up. I mean, the White Sox are 10.5 above Cleveland. Detroit's 13.5. Kansas City's 18, and the Twins are 19. So unless it's a miracle, I think Cleveland and Detroit are fighting for a wild card spot, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I think the White Sox got that wrapped up. What do you think there, Chris?
It definitely looks like it with 10.5 games back. Maybe Minnesota can move up to 4th place.
I'm glad you're giving us hope there, but yeah.
I'm not saying they're one game out, so
fourth. But... Yeah, fourth is reachable, but we'll see. I mean, they're definitely having a hard time beating the teams that they should be beating. I mean, so then we move on to the West, your division. It looks like Oakland. No, I'm sorry.
Houston.
Yeah.
Houston's first place, 2.5, but not by much. 2.5 games or 2 games.
Yeah, you got Houston, Oakland, Seattle, LA, the Angels, and Texas. So, yeah, Oakland's only 2 back. Seattle's 7, and Angels are 9.5. So,
Angels and Rangers are going at it tonight.
Okay. Yep.
I guess not much to cheer about that game.
Yeah.
2 of the worst teams in that group, but
yeah. And Oakland's right in a 4-game winning streak right now, so they're holding in there. So, but
yeah.
So since we just wrapped up the American League, why don't we check out the American League wild card here? I got it.
Okay.
So Boston and Oakland are leading that. New York is 2.5 or 2 games back. Toronto is 3.5. James, are you with us?
I'm trying. You guys hear me?
There you
I can hear
go.
you now, Brian. So you being the Anaheim Angel guy in the group here, how's the trade deadline been for you guys, and can you guys make a run here at the end? You're on mute. Or your mic went out or something. All right. So as he's trying to fix that, so we're in the wild card here. So I think right now, if you're roughly 10 back, I mean, that's going to be hard to get into the wild card race.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
So- yeah, we can.
we can hear
Yeah.
Okay.
So what about your
So I
Angels
guess-
there, bud?
Yeah, I guess my earphones weren't working.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see them making a push for the wild card. They're 6.5 games back now. They have a
There's still lot of
doubleheader.
baseball left, though.
Yeah. I just don't see it in the ball club where they can mesh everything together. It's one
Okay.
thing when you have the hitting going, the pitching stops. And then recently the pitching's been great, the starting
Yeah.
pitching, and the bullpen as well. But the hitting just hasn't been there. You know, we faced the Dodgers. We could have took 2 out of 3, but
Yeah.
the run support just is not there. And it's just been that overall just has made us get to where we are now. We're 10, 12 out of the division. There's just no way I see us getting back into it. There's 4 or 5 teams in front of us that are trying to get that second spot, and they all kill us. So
Yeah.
there's just no way. There's no way. As much as I love the team, there's no damn way, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it always seems like it's hitting's on fire, pitching's not. Then you got the pitches on fire. You know, if teams could put it together, you know, I guess they'd be unstoppable. But
Oh, the Angels would be they would be in the second wild card spot if that was the
Yeah.
case. They would have won
Yeah.
10 or 12 more ball games, and they would be in the second spot. So it's very
Yeah.
frustrating.
all right, so we'll move on to the NL here. NL East, we have the Phillies leading and on an 8-game winning streak since pretty much since the All-Star break. Atlanta, the Mets, Washington, and Miami. And you know, Mets and Atlanta are, you know, just a half game between each other and 2.5 out for the Mets. Do we think the Phillies are legit, or we going to see Atlanta and the Mets come back? And what do you think there, Chris?
Maybe we'll see the Braves come back and take that first place spot.
Yeah, I think this might be. I think we said it at the beginning of the year. This was going to be the division to watch with those 4 teams if you count Washington, but they kind of had fallen. James, what do you think of the East? Do you think the Mets or Atlanta can make a run, or?
Well, yeah, with the Phillies, man, it came out of nowhere, really.
Oh, you went on mute.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, it keeps going off. Yeah, with the Phillies, it was funny. They made the move to get the closer Ian Kennedy, and that's done wonders for him. That solidified their bullpen, but they're also getting the offense that they need. They're getting some clutch hits by their young guys. The Mets have just fallen, man.
Yes,
It was like, oh, they're just gonna run away with it. They're just gonna enjoy September and all that, but they can't hit at all. You know, their pitching is fine, but without DeGrom, that hurts too. But there's no excuse why this offense, who got better, by the way, with Javier Baez,
Yeah.
you would think right away that would catapult him way above anybody. We know the Braves, they probably won't get there. Washington has really sold anybody, that was
Yeah.
valuable. And Miami is Miami. They're playing out the season, seeing who's going to play. But I got Phil. If Philly continues the way they are, I got to say Philadelphia. And I don't want Isaiah to be happy, but man, if the Mets keep choking again and again, like 2007, 2008, then there's no other team than Philadelphia. Then.
Well, the thing is you speak of Isaiah, and I mean he's a fan of like half the teams that are in first place anyway. So I mean he's never gonna have a bad season. So
that's it.
So we move on to the Central then for the NL, and we got Milwaukee, Cincinnati, the Cardinals, Cubs, Pittsburgh, and really the only team that's really close is Cincinnati, 6 games back. So, avoiding a big losing month here, Milwaukee might be in the driver's seat into that division there. James, what do you think?
Yeah, I got Milwaukee. Unless Cincinnati can really be you guys hear me, by the way, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless Cincinnati can do what they keep doing, but even better. And I'm trying to remember the schedule between Milwaukee and Cincinnati. But they have to play each other at least 6 more times.
Yeah.
And what is the lead? Like by 8 games or so?
6.
9 games?
6
games. Oh,
yeah.
So there's a chance right there.
Yep.
Milwaukee, they got Escobar, the third baseman from Arizona, but they couldn't get any more offensive help. So that could kind of handicap them offensively. Their pitching is still good, starting-wise, but their bullpen can be kind of shaky. There's really no one else except Cincinnati that can catch Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And I want to say Milwaukee will keep it. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Milwaukee's, barring a big train wreck, I think they're going to win that division. So another division that's probably kind of shocking in most eyes is the West. You got San Francisco in first. You got the Dodgers behind in second, 4 games behind. The Padres, 7 behind. And then I guess Colorado and Arizona, it really doesn't matter. They're 20 back and 36 games back. So, I mean, granted, they're not officially eliminated from the playoffs, but, stranger things have happened. So, what do you guys think about the Giants there, Chris? Kind of the shocker team, I think, this year.
I would think so. I think everybody would probably think either the Padres, Dodgers would probably take that top spot, but Giants are, doing miracle things, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, James? What do you think of the Giants being ahead there in the West?
Well, it's an amazing story, honestly, and they were able to add Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
But I think it's something about having those 3 guys in the clubhouse, those veterans who won rings, Posey, Crawford, and Belt. And I believe they're all free agents at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And I have to imagine after this season, the Giants are going to go full a youth movement. Okay. And maybe just bring Posey back, but not Belt or Crawford. So this is their last hurrah. This is their last chance to win something in San Francisco. And their young talent has done well, too. Wade Jr., Bart, when he gets a chance to play. Yastrzemski is pretty good out and right. Their pitching is solid. They were able to get these 2 free agents. And it was teams like the Angels that should have got him, but they were cash-strapped. So it hurts more as an Angel fan thinking, oh, we could have had that with what the Giants are having right now, a total surprise ball club in the season. Yeah. And then with the Dodgers, their bullpen really holds them back, and then their offense struggles. Cody Bellinger has struggled as of late, but he could pick it up whenever he chooses to, honestly. San Diego, they get, it seems like the most the worst times for their star players to get injured.
Yeah.
Tatis got hurt. He was sliding into third. He was trying to take third on a ball he should have stayed at second with.
Yeah.
And he did something with his arm, and he's been out. I'm told that he's going to be playing the outfield because the Padres have a bunch of infielders. They were able to get Adam Frazier. Sorry to the Pirates fan on the staff here, but it seems like, man, he's going to be in the outfield. I'm thinking, okay, it's April Fool's Day. There's no damn way he's going to play the outfield. But they have him warming up out there. He's out there warming up. I'm thinking, no. But, you know, if it stops him from getting hurt, I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, that'd be that's news to me. I know, you know, I haven't really followed the Padres that much, but yeah, they move him to the outfield. I mean, you just paid him a bucket load of money and as a shortstop, now you're going to move him out to the outfield. I mean, we'll see what that does. Maybe they can restructure that contract or something. So, but looking at the wild card in the NL, you got the Dodgers and Padres at the top spots. And then 3.5 back is Cincy. Atlanta's at 7. Mets at 7.5. And the Cardinals at 8. And then after that, everybody else is 13 back plus. So, anybody you see jumping up, or do you think, you know, after Cincinnati that it's going to be a stretch there, Chris? What do you think?
I think after Cincinnati, it's going to be a stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anybody moving up past Cincinnati unless the Mets get hot. And they can also take their division, so it'd be a 3-team race, as I found out with the Braves. And kudos to the Braves; they could have shut everything down and just said, "Hey, we're not healthy, we're not ready to go. Acuna's not here," but they went out and got Jock Peterson. So I'm happy for them. They're staying in it. So, you know, I was wrong about the Braves. I thought they would just mail it in.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got a couple Braves fans here on the coast.
J-Mac, right?
J-Mac and Ace are both Braves fans.
Yeah, kudos to your ball club, man.
Yeah, kudos to them. And I mean, at one time they were just complaining that, I mean, the injuries are part of the ball game, but it seemed like they always are bringing up catchers and stuff. I think J-Mac said they had like 6 catchers on the roster that they kept using. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's we're August 10th, so you got another full month of baseball, probably a week or two in October. So, so with that being said, do you guys see any? I mean, you know, James, actually, American League Central, me and Chris think it's a wrap. Chicago has it.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Unless Chicago falters and Cleveland somehow finds a spark, or Detroit. And credit to the Tigers. I mean, they've been playing well as of late. They have nothing really to play for except just showing their future. And they're doing that well. They're creeping up on the Angels, by the way, in the wild card. They're about 2.5 back right now. But Cleveland is 10.5 back. So I don't see Chicago giving that up. No.
Speaking of Ace, our wonderful Braves reporter, I guess, or fan, he's mad. Will Smith just blew another save. So,
yeah, that's one thing that can get. They need to shore up if they want to make a move. Is they got to get their bullpen better. Obviously.
Yep, exactly. No, that was but yeah, I see. I mean, outside of a little battle of the wild card spots, you know, it's going to be a hot race down the road. I think. You know, the NL East is going to be a battle, you know, because that's only separated 3 games by 2.5. I think that's the closest race. Well, the West, AL West is 2 back, Oakland and Houston. So with our teams out of it, mine being the Twins, Chris being the Rangers, and then, I mean, you're still in it a little bit there, James, but do you guys when it comes to playoff time, do you guys start rooting for teams in your division, or what do you guys root for?
No.
I'll start with Chris.
I go underdogs, maybe.
Okay.
Not necessarily. I mean, if the underdog is in the division, maybe, but for the most part, no.
All right. So James, you've already said no. So who would who would you be pulling for right now?
I would never go. I'm sorry, with Houston, what all those guys did. Of course, I'm never going to root for them. And then Oakland just kills us every season in the series that we play with them. So I can't go for that. Seattle, they probably won't make it. They're in the thick of things, but I can't root for them either. And then Texas, it kind of just feels like a brother to me because we're both in an area where we're just playing out the season right now. It feels like the Angels are just a little bit better. But let me get to territorial wise, right? I live in San Diego County, right? So I got the Padres down here. I got the Dodgers up north where I grew up.
Okay.
I can never root for the Dodgers ever for anything. I feel really bad that the Padres haven't won the World Series yet. So I gravitate toward them, especially, last year in the playoffs when they made it for the first time since 2006. I was all up on that bandwagon, man. I was happy for Cal and McClurg. Yeah. I was happy for the city of San Diego who lost their football team. So I was all Padres into it, seeing that my Angels were out, and since the Cubs won, I feel nothing for them anymore. If Cleveland ever gets their thing together and make the playoffs, I hope they break their curse. But I think that's only the thing. If there's a curse to be broken, and if it's the Padres, then I'll go for them. But anybody else, like Milwaukee, I'll go for Milwaukee if they make it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I kind of, shy away from my division. I mean,
or the Rays. I would go for the Rays too. Because they need it for their ballpark.
Yeah, Rays are doing pretty good. Last year, James, I was with you. I think I was on the San Diego bandwagon drinking the Kool-Aid too, just like everybody else was, and hoping they did something. That's why this year it's kind of shocking that they're falling off. So, but it is what it is. Injuries play a big part of the game, and if you don't get the clutch hitting and clutch pitching at the right times, you're gonna see a fall, and if it's not clicking. So, I know we probably don't know many coaches right now, but who would you guys pick as American League and NL Coach of the Year? So, James, who would you go with?
Okay.
You can just say the team too. I mean,
no, right? No, I don't really want to say Tony La Russa because it seems like a couple of times he's lost the ball club in the locker room.
Yep.
I want to say Kevin Cash of the Rays because you figure, okay, they lost Renfroe in the trade. They also made some other moves.
And they lost all the offseason.
Blake Snell's gone to San Diego. You want to? I want to say Kevin Cash, and I think he won it last year as well. Yep. So for the American League, I'll definitely go with Kevin Cash for the Tampa Bay Rays. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Chris, what about you? Who do you think for American League?
Rays, and then for National League, I would say the Giants.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on the Rays. I just don't like the White Sox.
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Giants?
I got the same thing for the Giants for the National League. Yeah.
No, Giants by far. I mean, I would give a close second to Philly if they could pull it out. Because they weren't supposed to do nothing either. So.
Oh yeah.
But, I think we're all in agreement that the Rays are going to. Cash is going to win the AL coach, and then I'm torn between San Fran and Philly. They weren't supposed to do nothing, and here they are, August 10th, sitting in first place right now. So that's going to be a battle to watch there. Maybe even Milwaukee. Give him a little credit there. So
yeah, Craig Counsell, he always seems like he's on the cusp of being fired.
Yeah.
He's made the playoffs a couple of years, and then they have some down years. They trade a lot of people away, and that's wrong by me because, like the NBA, they always go for Coach of the Year as the most underdog story, right?
Yep.
It's always in the NBA.
Yep.
Unless it's a clear like Steve Kerr with the Warriors back in the day, right?
Yep, you're exactly right.
I always get screwed, thinking like, oh, they have to give it to the best record, but no, they give it to the best story. So
Yep.
I should have like Craig Counsell, but when you think of the Giants and Gabe Kapler, what he's done,
Yep.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I think the NL Coach of the Year is up in the air, but I think definitely the AL is going to go to the Rays again, and it would not shock me if the White Sox La Russa gets it, but I hope not. So moving on, MVP wise for the American League, Chris, who do you have in the MVP race right now?
That's
Who's your
a
money
tough
on?
one. I don't. I don't have one at the moment.
Okay. James, should I even ask, or should I assume that I know who you're picking?
I'm not trying to sound like a damn homer or whatever, but I think the results speak for itself. Well, you could definitely say before the All-Star break, Shohei Ohtani was hitting, in a tremendous rate of home runs, and he was getting the wins and the stats on that.
Yep.
But he's kind of fallen off as of late. But you could say without him, the Angels aren't. Sorry, Chris. The Angels would be the Rangers when you think about it.
Yeah.
They would be down there with them. But I would have to go Ohtani, and then National League as I'm pulling up the stats, because it just seems like no one in the National League is pulling away with it. You know what I mean?
Not since Tatis went down and Acuna went down.
Yeah, it just seems like a mixed bag of players you want to go with. You could say, Manny Machado has had a great season as of late.
Yep.
You can go with
Freddie Freeman to win back-to-back. I mean,
who won it last year?
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, that was a great success story. I love that story about him for sure.
Schubar from Washington. Possibly. I mean, like you said, though, there's no name that jumps out. I mean, for a while there, we were talking that DeGrom was going to win both of them in the NL. So
I would have gone DeGrom, and Kershaw won the MVP and the Cy Young one year. I forget which year it was, but he's done that before. So right now, either Tatis or Adam Duvall. I really I'll tell you what, if Pete Alonso from the Mets steps up and he leads them back into the playoff race and into the wild card, not to the wild card, but realistically the NL East.
Yep.
I'd have to give it to Pete Alonso. I really do.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's only if the Mets get in there, but if not, it's a wasted MVP pick. I don't know because we've seen A-Rod win the MVP on the last place Rangers team. Do you pick MVPs in all sports based on winning team-wise or just individual performance?
I kind of look at it as, what would the team be without the guy leading their team? Like in A-Rod's case, I mean, he was putting up tremendous numbers, and without them, they wouldn't have done anything. Like you said, though, nobody's jumping out in the AL. So, I mean, it definitely could be a toss-up on anybody right now.
But I think if DeGrom was keeping going what he was doing, it would be easy DeGrom. It'd be definitely easy.
Yeah, I think so, and I think you would have just made our co-host Dirk a happy guy because he's a Mets fan.
Oh, yeah.
So,
shout out him.
Yeah. So, in the AL, Cy Young side, who are you taking? I mean, I think the leader got traded. I think Kirk Gibson, even though he doesn't have the win total up there, he was pitching phenomenal, gets traded to Philly. So, I think we have to take him out of the race there. So, the only other name that really jumps out at me is Lance Lynn from the White Sox. 10-3 right now with a 2.04 ERA. So, James, what do you think?
No, I have to agree with you. He's bounced around a lot, but I think he's found his home with the White Sox. I think he was with the Rangers a couple of years ago or last year,
He was.
and he was part of that crew that was supposed to be really good.
He was with the Twins for a stint too. So.
Oh sure, yeah. So I'll give it to Lynn. I think he's found his home. He recently got a new contract as well. Yep. So I'll put him as an ace of one of the best ball clubs in the American League. Yeah, I think he has to be up. He has to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Okay, so you're agreeing with that too. So, so by looking at the stats here, I don't see DeGrom's name, so he must not be eligible right now, or he's done for the year. I'm not seeing anything. But who do you guys got in the NL? James. I'll go with James.
As much as it hurts to say this, but Walker Buehler of Los Angeles, I think he should get it.
Okay.
He has a 2.13 ERA. He's up there in the win totals. Every time he's out there, you can trust that he's going to give you a tremendous start. He has 12 wins. His teammate Urias has 13, as well as Kyle Hendricks from the Cubs.
Yep.
And I thought Hendricks was going to be traded, honestly, but he wasn't. So I think when you put it all together, I think I'll go Walker Buehler just based on his stats. And it would have been Trevor Bauer, but he's not with us right now. He's not.
DeGrom,
I know he's free, sure. But he's not going to be with anybody. So Walker Buehler for the National League.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say DeGrom, but after that, I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to say Buehler as well.
Yeah. I think that award's going to somebody in Dodger Blue. Being one of those two guys that James mentioned. I mean, 13-3 and 12-2. I mean, Kyle Hendricks. I mean, 13-4. If that ERA was lower, I would say Hendricks would run away with it, but. Yeah, I believe it's going Dodger Blue. So anything else? Let's see what kind of scores we got going on here before we close out here. So Twins bottom of the 8th. Looks like it's going to the top of the 9th. Are beating the White Sox. Astros 5-0 over the Rockies. Tigers bottom of 5. Over the Orioles, 6-4. Dodgers, 2-0 over Philly, top of 6. We still got a tie in Athletics Indians game. The Rays are doubling up the Red Sox right now into the bottom of the 9th, 8-4. Top of 4th, game 2 of the Brewers Cubs doubleheader. So that's a 0-0 right there. The Royals are beating the Yankees, bottom of 7, 6-4.
Wow.
The Red Hot Giants are staying hot over Diamondbacks, 4-0. Game 2 of their doubleheader, the Blue Jays over the Angels. Sorry there, James. 2-0 right now. Padres and Marlins. Marlins are beating the Padres 3-0 right now, bottom of 1st. That game just started. Rangers are 1-0 ahead of the Seattle Mariners, bottom of 2. So a couple finals we had was game 1, Brewers Cubs. Brewers took that game 4-2. Angels over the Blue Jays 6-3. Cardinals over the Pirates 4-1. Braves over the Reds. So that helps out the Braves a little bit in that little division there. 3-2, and then the Nationals and Mets game got suspended at 3-1 right now. It looks like it'll resume tomorrow. So, James, I know we don't talk much. You might have an opinion. What do you think of the 7 innings double headers?
I've grown to like them. I actually went to one earlier this year.
Okay.
And it was against your Twins.
Okay.
In Anaheim. That was because of a COVID situation with the Twins. They were supposed to play Saturday and Sunday earlier in the season, and they finished the Friday game, and then whoops, there's no games. So there was, I forget what day it was, one of the off days for the Angels, of course.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for the Twins. Now, this is the problem. The Twins had to go from, I think, Minnesota, fly to California to play the Angels, then fly to Chicago to play the White Sox.
Yep, and
There's a lot of damn travel for those makeups, man.
Yeah, I actually think the White Sox we had to do a double dip there too in the same time frame or something like that. Yeah,
right, that was
early.
That's harsh for the double headers. That's really harsh.
Yeah.
But I think it can be done. But the thing is, you can't do 9-inning double headers. The players won't go for it. You'd have to do 7-inning double headers. But I just don't see the players' union okaying it because they would feel like, oh, we're playing 2 games in one day. Yeah. It's just too much. That'd be a real shame. But, it's not 1975 anymore where that was always a thing to have a doubleheader. From what I heard. I wasn't around back then.
They scheduled a lot of doubleheaders back then. So
right. I would have loved to go into those.
Yeah. So and
I hope it stays.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I warmed up to it a little bit. I see the purpose, but I'm still a 9-inning game guy because the fact is we've had 2 no hitters pitched in these double headers, and they're not counted as no hitters. So,
sure. Like I consider those no hitters, man.
Yep. Yeah, we do too here at Coast to Coast. So
those are no hitters for me.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. You don't get a hit, and so in our record books, which is all we care about. Coast to Coast has 2 extra no hitters this season. So, what do you think of the extra runner in the 10th inning?
I don't mind it. At first, I didn't like it. I thought it was childish, little leaguish. But it prevents these damn long, 16 inning, 14 inning, 20 inning games that everybody dreaded. Everybody hated. Yeah. It made a team fall away. So I've grown to like it, and I hope it stays just because it would keep people tuned in. And there's instant action instead of, 5 extra innings of 1, 2, 3 ball, and you're stuck in the 15th inning with nothing to do. All the concessions are done, thrown away and all that crap. So you want instant results. I know they've been trying to get time of play killed. Okay. Yeah. And I think this would help everything.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, we've talked about it, and being in the 10th, 11th inning extra runner, I would be against it. But if they moved it out and said like the 13th inning, well, we're going to add a runner, I'd be more for it. But like you said, James, they're trying to get the games in and out, drag it on. But we'll see where it goes. That's going to be a discussion this offseason, I think. So.
That's true, Big B. You mentioned, they could do that later in the innings. I think they'll have that approach where, they'll say, hey, we like it, but we want it to be later. We want a traditional extra innings, and then we'll talk about, we'll have it later on to make sure somebody scores and we can all go home. Well, why don't just do that in the 10th like we've been doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I we'll see. I mean, as a fan, I'll adapt to anything they want. As long as I don't lose any sports. So yeah. So typically, James, your first show here, we try to do a little trivia question, rare stat, and I actually saw this one on Facebook. So if you guys have seen it, you guys already know the answer.
I haven't been on anything today, so yeah.
Well, it's been a while. So, all right. So this happened September 26, 2008.
Oh.
He's the only player to be credited with he's the only player to hit a home run, but not be credited with the run. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
He hit a home run, but he wasn't credited with the home run. Did they say why?
Yes, I'll explain why later. No, he was credited with the home run. He wasn't credited with the run scored.
Man,
I have no.
I know. I didn't know this happened either, until I saw it post up on Facebook. So,
I
okay. So it was Benji Molina.
Maybe if you say why.
Oh,
but
okay. I already said it. It was Benji Molina. So what happened was, he hit the ball. The refs called it a single at first. I think it was. So they pinch ran Molina for somebody, and then they reviewed it and they called it a home run. So the pinch runner got credited for the run because he was already in the game. So Molina gets credited. So Molina gets credited for the home run, but not the run. So I thought that was kind of a weird thing. What's that?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You think they would have been like, oh, okay, bring Molina back in, but once he's announced as the pinch runner, I guess he stays in. So, anyway,
I think he was a Giant that year, if I'm not mistaken.
It was actually the Giants Dodger game. It happened in L.A. So
wow.
Yeah. So I was just reading here, which the umpire called it a fair play, which wound it up at first or something. So, yeah, it's kind of an ironic play there. I'll have to go look at the video, see if I can find it and look it up and see what all happened. So, do you guys got anything else on your mind before we wrap it up, or any news that you guys seen happen?
Yeah, I got a couple of things, but I can I'll defer to Chris right now.
I don't have anything, but just
go ahead.
Rangers keep winning.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's gonna happen with my Angels. All I know is we're just gonna play the season out, and I'm not expecting anything, and nor should I. I expect to be out of the race by at least September 18th, I think. I've done the numbers. Trust me, I've done it all.
Yeah.
Just saying, well, if we keep the trend the way we're going and not beating divisional opponents other from the Rangers, well, we're not going to make any headway, right? So, if I could promote something, which I love, MI6, and I love Coast to Coast programming, and trust me, I've got Coast to Coast on my phone.
Oh yeah.
When a live notification comes up, I'm tuning in.
We see you in the comments all the time. We see you in the comments. So.
I've saved shows that I'm gonna watch. The cooking shows, the wellness shows. I gotta get on that because I'm not well right now, so I gotta get on that. But also I have mostly on Instagram. I'm on the Halos in the Infield site. You can also find it on Facebook and Twitter, but the majority of the stuff we have on Halos in the Infield, you can find on Instagram or on the website halosintheinfield.com.
Okay.
And I host a pregame show whenever the Angels play. I host a pregame show. Once I get the lineups, I'm in that thing and I'm, hosting. I'm giving you the stats and the scores around the other league, around the league and other games. So I'm really enjoying doing that every game I can with the Angels, or with Halos in the Infield. I've been blessed to do that. So I'm just I'm happy to be doing that. I'm happy to be here today with you guys and hoping that I can come back on. Hopefully not have any issues like I did at the beginning.
Okay.
Guys, I always love the Coast to Coast programming, the Four Brothers, the Sports Minute, the 30-minute shows with you guys.
Well, we just
And-
saw you on GMs for Hire on the Jeopardy. So how'd that go?
Oh yeah. See, I think I would have won that, but I had some not Zoom issues, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, Zoom issues or whatever. I was way
Yeah,
behind. And I blame
Okay.
my internet for that. So,
All right.
but yeah,
So there's possibly
I
a
was
rematch down the road there.
I hope so. You know, I just love trivia. I have
Right,
all this
dude.
useless information in my head, kind of. So, yeah, I just love trivia. So anytime anything like that comes up, you know, I'm all for that. Cash and prizes too, but you know,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
all
we hope
for
to
that.
have our show back up soon. We're just kind of tweaking some things and moving it around. So, but
Right.
anyway, so Chris, you got any final thoughts here?
Thank you guys for watching, listening. We'll be back next week for another On Deck, and make sure to tune in to all of our other shows.
Yeah, how about you, James? Last 30 seconds there.
Well, again, thank you for having me on deck. On deck. I know you're supposed not to say that, but yeah, thank you for having me on here, and I can't wait for the next time, wherever that may be. So thank you guys, and I hope everybody does or has a great afternoon, evening, night, morning.
All right. Well, James, thanks for coming on, jumping on, talking about your Angels. We'll definitely have you on again, and like I said, once we get that trivia show back up, you're more than welcome to come on there. So.
Thank
With
you.
that
Those were a blast.
Yeah, they were. So with that being said, I'm Big B. That's Chris. That's James. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, check us out all week. We got great shows all week, as James alluded to earlier. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys next week for On Deck. Have a good one.